Hello everyone, Joel here. Today, we're diving into a massive pile of pure gaming gold. The year 2026 is an absolute feast for single-player fans, and I've put together an ultimate masterclass of 30 modern masterpieces you absolutely need to play right now. Grab your snacks and let's jump right into it. Let's kick things off with a little trip to the USG Ishimura. If you thought the original gave you nightmares, this remake will make you sleep with the lights on. Isaac Clarke is back, stomping necromorphs into bloody puddles like it's an Olympic sport. The golden rule hasn't changed: cut off their limbs. The visual overhaul makes every dark corridor a panic attack waiting to happen. The plasma cutter still feels legendary, and yes, the marker is still ruining everyone's day. Speaking of surviving absolute nightmares, Kyle Crane is officially back. After years of wondering what happened to our favorite parkour zombie slayer, he returns angrier than ever. Drop-kicking zombies off rooftops at terminal velocity never gets old, and now Crane's got spicy new beast mode abilities. The nighttime anxiety is completely off the charts again, with volatiles chasing you down while you desperately miss a ledge jump. The story feels surprisingly personal, and the movement is smoother than butter. It's the perfect zombie playground.
Might be able to climb up on the left side of the wall, near that water.
If you want to step into something breathtakingly gorgeous, Aloy is waiting for you. She's still talking to herself every 5 seconds to give you puzzle hints you didn't ask for, but we love her anyway. The sheer spectacle of fighting gigantic robot dinosaurs in ruined real-world locations is unmatched. Overriding a sunwing and flying across the vibrant map is a massive wow moment. Combat requires actual brain power to tear off armor components. The inventory management is a bit much, but it's a stunning piece of art.
I felt that. Good. When you're ready, quick please.
But hey, if you prefer your nature to be less robotic and more heavily infested, this game will ruin your emotional state in the best way. Amicia and Hugo return for another round of medieval depression, and there are so many rats, a literal tsunami of rats that will melt your graphics card. Amicia's sling upgrades make her an absolute menace, and the stealth sections are incredibly tense. It's an emotional gut punch wrapped in a gorgeously bleak world. Prepare for therapy after the credits roll.
It's what I do.
I can see that.
Talking about walking through emotional trauma, Hideo Kojima is back at his glorious madness. Sam Porter Bridges is out here delivering packages again, but now we've got stop-motion puppets, insane new vehicles, and weaponized guitars that shoot electricity. It's the ultimate weird walking simulator, but the gameplay loop is so satisfying you just can't put it down. Reconnecting the world feels even more polished, and the cutscenes are pure Kojima unhinged perfection. You might not understand the plot, but you'll love every second. Before we go into the list, I want to give you my recommendation for some of the best deals in instant gaming right now, especially if you're tight on budget. We knew that instant gaming always give us so many crazy deals for your favorite games, like these titles for example. I mean, can you believe these prices? If you love RPGs, there's no way you never heard of these masterpieces, and to think that you can get them under $10 or even $5, it's an absolute steal. All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games, and use the activation code on your chosen platform. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. If you want real psychological trauma, this remake is here to make you question your own existence. James Sunderland is back looking for his dead wife, and the fog is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Bloober Team actually nailed it. They respected the source material while giving it a massive modern facelift. Running into Pyramid Head is just as terrifying as it was back in the day. The ambient sound design is also pure nightmare fuel. It is a beautifully depressing descent into madness. Moving away from foggy towns to somewhere a bit more vibrant, this one is a massive theme park where Chadley will call you every 5 seconds to interrupt your exploration. But seriously, the sheer scale of the open world is jaw-dropping. Cloud and the gang have never looked better, and the synergy combat system is fluid perfection. Just be prepared to sink well over 100 hours in because the minigames are dangerously addictive, or maybe annoying at times. It's a massive expectation exceeding love letter.
We hold the perimeter until we hear otherwise. Keep an eye out in case he comes this way.
Speaking of massive emotional damage, this bundle is a mandatory rite of passage. Joel and Ellie's journey is still the absolute pinnacle of video game storytelling. Throwing bricks at clickers is a chaotic joy, and the combat in Part 2 is so incredibly visceral it almost makes you feel bad for the enemies. And yeah, we all know the golf club scene still hurts, but playing both back-to-back in crisp 4K is legendary. It's a brutal, beautiful, exhausting saga that every gamer needs to experience.
Lockdown disengaged.
Now onto something we literally thought was a collective fever dream. Capcom kept delaying this mysterious spaceman and little girl adventure, but it's actually phenomenal. Taking care of Diana while navigating bizarre lunar environments gives massive sci-fi dad energy vibes. The combat is wonderfully chunky, letting you use weird space tech to manipulate gravity. The visual fidelity is absolutely bonkers, and the mystery behind the whole moon setting keeps you hooked from start to finish. It took forever, but Capcom actually cooked up a completely unique IP here.
Grab the regulator.
Obscur protocol on standby.
If you prefer your sci-fi action to be flashier, Eve's Journey to Reclaim Earth has you covered. It's dripping with Nier Automata vibes combined with some of the tightest, most punishing parry mechanics outside of a From Software game. Beneath the physics discourse is a genuinely spectacular character action game. Nailing a perfect dodge and slicing through a grotesque Naitiba boss feels electric. The soundtrack is a complete banger, and the post-apocalyptic world is surprisingly dense. It's stylish, brutal, and totally unapologetic about what it is.
Not deceive us, Gadriel. Then where did Dimitri and Titus serve previously?
But what if you just want to scream for the Emperor at the top of your lungs? Space Marine 2 is pure unadulterated testosterone in digital form, stomping around as Titus in massive power armor while ripping Tyranids apart with a roaring chainsword is wonderfully cathartic. The sheer scale of the swarms on screen is terrifying, but hitting those blood-soaked execution animations to restore your armor is the ultimate power trip. There is absolutely no stealth here, only righteous fury and a whole lot of bolter fire.
Lads, that Rogers was onto me from the first. Hold your tongue, Rackham.
Ubisoft finally gave us the ultimate pirate remake built from the ground up in the modern Anvil engine. And the best part, they completely revised the instant fail-tailing missions. Boarding galleons, blasting broadside cannons, and listening to your crew belt out sea shanties in glorious modern audio is absolute perfection. They even added new stories and reworked the combat. It's the ultimate pirate fantasy, and honestly I haven't left my ship since it dropped this July. From pirate captains to suave spies, IO Interactive blessed us with the James Bond origin story we've been waiting for. It plays like the perfect evolution of Hitman, letting you bluff your way past guards, use sleek Q-branch gadgets, or just go loud with an Aston Martin. The Glacier engine looks stunning with modern ray tracing, and the globe-trotting espionage feels exactly like a blockbuster movie. It shows exactly how a reckless young Bond earned his license to kill. It's shaken, stirred, and absolutely fantastic.
I'm wounded! Give me for a second!
In order to ambush and eliminate the target undetected.
Need a break from stealth? How about getting filtered by a giant attack helicopter? From Software returned to their mech roots and delivered a masterclass in customization. Building your AC to perfectly counter a boss that just destroyed you 15 times is the quintessential get good experience. When Rusty drops in and calls you buddy, you know things are about to get real. The movement speed is blistering, and the missile barrages look like a heavy metal fireworks show. Take off your clown makeup, folks, because the eternal wait is over. Stepping into the shoes of Hornet is a complete game changer. She is so much faster and more acrobatic than the Knight, making the platforming and combat feel wildly dynamic. Farloom is a massive, gorgeously hand-drawn kingdom filled with incredibly tough bugs and mesmerizing music. Every single boss fight is a beautiful dance of death. It entirely lives up to the legendary hype, proving that patience really is a virtue. If you love beautiful art styles, this turn-based RPG genuinely looks like a next-gen fever dream, set in a hyper-realistic Belle Epoque-inspired world, where a mysterious paintmaker erases people's ages. It brings a massive twist to the genre, which is you can parry enemy attacks in real time. It completely fixes the whole sitting around waiting to be hit issue. The visual storytelling is incredible, the voice acting is top tier, and the combat loop is ridiculously engaging. It's a massive, much-needed breath of fresh air. Speaking of deep narratives and making choices, this is still an absolute must-play masterpiece. Juggling the intertwined stories of Connor, Kara, and Marcus during an android revolution is incredibly gripping. The flowchart system at the end of each chapter just mocks you, showing how many different outcomes you completely missed. Whether you play Connor as a cold machine or a deviant buddy cop alongside Hank, the replayability here is insane. Your mistakes actually have devastating consequences, so choose wisely.
No! What the hell are you doing?
I told you to make sure no one came in. We've come too far to let humans fuck it all.
If building weird contraptions to commit war crimes against Koroks is your thing, you're in the right place. Nintendo took Breath of the Wild and said, what if we just let them glue things together? The Ultra Hand mechanic is literal genius, turning Hyrule into a massive physics playground. Diving from the Sky Islands seamlessly into the terrifying depths below is a technological marvel. Sure, your weapons still break, but now you can fuse a boulder to a stick and smash a Bokoblin's face in. Speaking of creative ways to survive, we desperately need to talk about the newest Resident Evil. Capcom brought back our glorious boy Leon S. Kennedy, teaming him up with FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft. Exploring the derelict ruins while a terrifying mutant stalks you is peak survival horror. The contrast between Leon's third-person action and Grace's terrifying first-person stealth sections is perfectly balanced. With the new photo mode, you can even pause to take a selfie before getting eaten. It's dark, tense, and absolutely brilliant.
A double ambush? Okay. Didn't see that coming.
If you want to talk about raw power though, this is the ultimate dad simulator. Kratos and an older, slightly more rebellious boy are back to stop the Norse apocalypse, and the storytelling is chef's kiss. The combat is so crunchy, swapping between the Leviathan axe and the Blades of Chaos mid-combo to juggle Draugrs feels like poetry. Odin is a fantastic manipulative villain, and Thor is an absolute unit. It's an emotional roller coaster about fate, grief, and fatherhood packed with epic boss fights.
That's the Alpha. Tough fight.
What's the matter? Who's Spider-Man too tough?
Speaking of balancing personal life and beating people up, this game gives you 19 inches of venom and so much more. Seamlessly swapping between Peter and Miles while swinging through New York City is insanely fast, especially with those web wings. The symbiote suit makes Peter delightfully aggressive and the combat feels incredibly brutal. Kraven the Hunter is an absolute menace, pushing both Spider-Man to their absolute limits. It's a pure cinematic blockbuster that gives you non-stop web-slinging action. Just don't ask Peter about his personal life. Swapping out symbiotes for massive beasts, this is the ultimate grinding addiction. The leap in ecosystem scale here is insane. You'll see massive herds of monsters interacting dynamically while you ride your mount into battle. The weather shifts mid-hunt, turning a sunny field into a raging thunderstorm, completely changing the dynamic. The weapon movesets have never felt more fluid, and the cooking animations will still make you incredibly hungry. You will inevitably spend 40 hours farming the exact same giant lizard for one hat and love it. If you want to talk about addictive loops where you die over and over, this will literally ruin your sleep schedule. Melinoe's quest to kill Kronos brings a fresh magical twist to the phenomenal roguelike formula. The combat is lightning fast, mixing spells and melee to create devastating builds with insanely hot gods. The just one more run syndrome is stronger than ever. The art style is gorgeous, and failing a run never feels bad because it just pushes the incredible narrative forward.
I need to calm him down. Stay in the circle now.
But what if you want to be the one bringing the nightmare? Doomguy goes back to medieval times and gets a shield that is also a chainsaw. I repeat, a chainsaw shield. It's pure, unadulterated testosterone. You are literally pairing demons and riding a mecha dragon while the heavy metal soundtrack melts your face off. It feels heavier and more grounded than Eternal, turning you into a walking tank of holy destruction. There is no complex story here, just you, a shotgun, and thousands of trapped demons.
Die, Kraven!
If you thought Pearl Abyss only made MMORPGs, prepare to have your mind absolutely blown. Stepping into the boots of Cliff in the massive open world of Pywell is a visual feast. The combat is completely unhinged. You are literally drop-kicking bandits and using wrestling moves on giant monsters. It's a beautifully chaotic action-adventure that finally launched this March. Sure, the story can be a bit overwhelming at first, but the sheer interactivity and physics system are jaw-dropping. Plus, they just added cross-save, so you can take this glorious madness anywhere. We all know the legendary redemption arc here. From a disastrous launch to an absolute titan of the sci-fi genre, stepping into Night City now is breathtaking. The Phantom Liberty expansion elevated it to true masterpiece status, with Idris Elba stealing the show. The combat cyberware makes you feel like an absolute god. Slowing down time and slicing scabs never gets old. It's a neon-soaked beautiful world where you can finally give Adam Smasher the hands he deserves.
Okay. Find the largest float. They are controlled from outside. That tech, it could be ordinary.
If you enjoy dodging for your absolute life, this lets you embrace your inner monkey in the most visually stunning way possible. Rooted heavily in Journey to the West, it's essentially a massive punishing boss rush where every single enemy looks incredibly unique. Hitting mythological beasts with an extending staff feels satisfying, and the transformation mechanics give you so much combat versatility. It demands perfect reflexes and patience, but the cinematic flair makes every hard-earned victory feel like a monumental triumph.
First, you submit to the mapping of the heart.
Only then.
If you want absolute freedom to ruin your own life with dice rolls, this is the undisputed king. Larian created an RPG so dense you can literally talk a boss into killing themselves. Whether you're romancing Astarion, accidentally blowing up your party, or yelling at Shovel the Quasit, every playthrough is wildly different. The turn-based D&D combat is incredibly tactical, letting you shove enemies off cliffs for instant serotonin. It's a beautifully written adventure that respects your choices like no other game in existence. But maybe you don't want to rely on dice. Maybe you just want to be an honorable samurai. Jin Sakai's transformation into the ghost is a gripping cinematic masterpiece. The combat is essentially a lethal bloody dance. Switching stances to counter Mongols is incredibly fluid. The wind navigation system removes UI clutter, letting you soak in the most gorgeous fields of flowers you've ever seen. Uncle Shimura might hate your stealth, but stabbing enemies feels too damn good.
I've got it.
The ever-brilliant Goldma.
And finally, the game that will literally tell you to put these foolish ambitions to rest. Miyazaki unleashed his ultimate masterpiece, and the lance between genuinely rewards curiosity with instant death. Stumbling into a chest that teleports you to a crystal nightmare is just part of the charm. The freedom to just turn around and explore somewhere else when a boss is too hard is pure genius. Add in the massive Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, and this is the absolute peak of modern gaming.